Hi everyone, welcome back to Stamp with Anna, and today I'm going to show you a really quick card. Every so often you just need a card and you need it right now. So this is a real quick one made with just a little bit of designer series paper, which takes up almost your whole card front. And I did make this one with the ladies for my kickoff back in June. I just haven't gotten around to posting the video. But in any event, this is super quick, and you can see here I have this little sentiment, best wishes from all of us. And here's another one that I made, same exact style of design of card, but I have no sentiment. Now I'm going to put this one in my stash when I need a card real quick. I can see what I need it for and then pull out the appropriate sentiment. Or I think it looks nice just like that. It's a nice design element to it. But what I really like about these cards is I have a matching envelope. Doesn't that look beautiful? On this one here with the daisies on it, excuse me, sunflowers and daisies. And this is really quick. And because I'm using the designer series paper that comes 6 by 6, this only takes one sheet of paper. So let me show you how I did it. For the paper, I used the Flowers for Every Occasion set. And as you can see, these two here are more muted colors, and they're great for fall. This one here you could use even for a wedding. It's just gorgeous. But a lot of the papers are nice and bright. This is 2 packs mixed together. A lot of the papers are nice and bright. See the nice flowers, and the back sides of them are equally as gorgeous. And you do have some Christmas ones in there. That's a beautiful one too. So there are lots of different options available for you doing this card. One thing I would mention to you, because of using some of the paper for the front of the card and some of it for the flap, you do want a paper that the design is, it's not, it doesn't have a specific orientation, excuse me. So something like this would not work because we're going to cut this part here with the flowers going straight up and down for this, and then this little piece left over, which will ultimately make our flap, will be crooked, be sideways. So we're not going to use a paper like that. This will all make sense in just a second. So without further ado, what I have for supplies is a piece of Just Jade cardstock. This is one of the new in colors. It's cut at your typical A2 size, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then here is the paper that I'm going to use for my design. And this comes 6 by 6. I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to cut it down to 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. I'm going to save this tiny piece, and I'm going to save this piece because we are wasting nothing. Okay, so here now is my beautiful paper with my adhesive. Look at the pretty back side of that. I'm just going to run a little bit of adhesive, and I'm going to mount it on that little piece of Whisper White. And you can see there's just a tiny little border on this because I just wanted something to make it pop up against the Just Jade. So now I'm going to add some snail to the back of that. Pop it in there. And I do like this card because the border on this is thick, is wider than usual. And I like it because I'm able to only have to use one piece of designer series paper. That's a little crooked. I'm going to fix that. So it's a great little design feature to change the border up a little bit, but you also are saving on your cardstock, on your DSP. Now look how pretty that is. So now we're going to take this little piece here, and it was cut right from here, so it's already 3.5 inches. We need this to be 3.5 by 1/2. So again, I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And I like this new trimmer because it has this kind of a rim along the top. So even the tiniest pieces can be butt up right against that, and you know you're going to get a nice straight cut. Okay? And here is my little piece right there. Now I have already pre-cut myself a little piece of Whisper White, and it is 3 5/8 by 5/8 of an inch, and you can see it's just going to be a tiny little mat like that. So I'm going to bring in my snail. And again, it's a small little border. And now I wanted to have a little bit of interest, so I'm going to bring in some of the beautiful cotton ribbon that was introduced with the new In Colors this year. And this is, I don't know if you can see, this is just a beautiful ribbon. I'm going to just tie a little knot. Okay, there's my knot. I'm going to take my ribbon shears, my ribbon scissors, and I'm going to trim my tails, however long you want them. I want them to stand up a little bit. So now I'm going to put some adhesive. First I'm going to move this up. I want it towards the back here. Tight, it's so tight I can't move it. There it is right there. I'm going to add a little bit of snail. And I'm going to offset this just a little bit. I don't want it to butt up right up against that. I want it to come off just a little bit to give it a little bit of interest. And there's my card. Now we just have to make it. Now I'm going to bring in that other little piece of paper here, the leftover from the square that we'd cut. So it was a 6 by 6 piece of paper, and we cut this at 3.5. So this is 2.5, and it's just the right size to line the flap of our envelope. And for this, I'm going to bring in my silicone pad because it's going to, I want to make sure that I get adhesive right up to the edge, so I might spill over a little bit, and my silicone pad is going to protect my surface. So the first thing I'm going to do is run it along this closed edge here. Okay, and as close as I can to the edge. And see, it did come off a little bit there, but that's okay. When I lift this up, it's on my silicone pad, and I can just wipe that off. So now I'm going to open my envelope flap up, and I'm going to do the same thing right up to the edge. And if you're going to mail this, you really want to make sure that it's up to the edge, because you don't want it getting pulled off when it goes through the machines at the post office. If you're going to hand it to someone, it's not as important. I mean, you'd still want it to look nice. So now I'm going to fold my card, my flap, and I'm going to bring this right up against the edge of that. Okay, as close as I can get. And I hope my head's not in the way here. Okay, and there it is, pressed down. Then with a pair of snips, I'm going to open it up and just trim this away. Around the corner. And I'm not great at fussy cutting, but even I can follow along a line. I get to the end, pop that off, and there is my beautiful matching envelope. One piece of 6x6 designer series paper, and there we go. And again, like I said, if I were going to give this for a birthday or something, I would make myself a little tag that said happy birthday or something to that effect. And I did put this up on Stampin' Dimensionals. So there we go. Beautiful cards made with one piece of cardstock for your base and one piece of designer series paper for your card front, your card envelope, and your little strip. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you have any questions at all, certainly contact me through my blog at www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. And if you have any questions about the products I use, certainly give me a call. Certainly pop me a message, and I'll be glad to help you out. Thanks so much, and have a great day.